S11 安全標誌和符號 S11 Safety Signs and Symbols 標識危險物質的警告標誌和其他安全標誌 Identifies warning signs for hazardous substances and other safety signs 安全標誌分為警告標誌、資訊標誌、強制標誌和禁止標誌 Safety signs are grouped into warning signs, information signs, mandatory signs and prohibition signs 它描述了每種標誌的含義以及對員工進行培訓以了解其含義的重要性。It describes the meaning of each type of sign and the importance of training employees in their meaning. 它涵蓋危險物質及其識別標誌。It covers hazardous substances and their identifying signs. 安全標誌和符號需要記住哪些關鍵事項 ？Safety signs and symbols.What are the key items to remember? 1996年，健康與安全標誌與信號條例規定了什麼 ？What do the health and safety signs and signals regulations 1996 state？ 所有新的健康和安全標誌除了文字外，還必須包含圖形符號。如果無法透過任何其他方式充分控制危險，則必須以安全標誌進行標記。All new health and safety signs must contain pictorial symbols in addition to text. If a hazard cannot be adequately controlled by any other means, then it must be marked with a safety sign. 每個僱主都必須確保其員工接受安全標誌意義的培訓。任何緊急逃生路線和消防設備的位置都必須以安全標誌標明。Every employer must ensure that their employees are trained in the meaning of safety signs.Any emergency escape route and firefighting equipment must have their location identified with safety signs. 而安全標誌分為哪四類 ？What are the four categories of safety signs? 警告標誌、資訊標誌、強制標誌和禁止標誌。Warning signs, information signs, mandatory signs, and prohibition signs. 三警告標誌是什麼樣的？What are warning signs like and what do they mean? 警告標誌為三角形、黃色、黑色邊框。Warning signs are triangular and yellow with a black border. 它們的意思是小心，前方有危險或禍患。They mean caution, risk of danger or hazard ahead. 四資訊標誌是什麼樣的 ？What are information signs like and what do they indicate?安全狀況標誌為綠底白矩形，指示緊急情況下應去的正確地點或應採取的正確措施。Safe condition signs are rectangular and white on a green background and indicate the correct place to go or the correct action to be taken in an emergency. 他們提供有關安全狀況的資訊。They give information about safe conditions. 唔強制性標誌是什麼樣的？What are mandatory signs like and what do they mean? 強制性標誌為藍底白字，圓形，表示你必須做。Mandatory signs are white on a blue background, circular and mean you must do. 綠禁止標誌是什麼樣的 ？What are prohibition signs like and what do they mean? 禁止標誌呈圓形，中心有一根橫桿，表示停止或禁止。Prohibition signs are circular in shape.Have a crossbar through the center and mean stop or do not. 它們是白底紅字，必須遵守。They are red on a white background and must be obeyed. 1996年，健康與安全標誌與信號條例對消防設備有何要求 ？What do the health and safety signs and signals regulations 1996 require regarding firefighting equipment?所有消防設備的位置必須以紅色標示。The location of all firefighting equipment must be marked in red. 白危險物質如何辨識 ？How are hazardous substances identified? 使用方形和橙色的適當標誌，帶有黑色邊框和符號斜線文字。By appropriate signs that are square and orange, with a black border and symbol 斜線 writing.9需要記住的主要危險物質標誌有哪些 ？What are the main hazardous substance signs to remember? 9.1 有毒、低濃度就會對健康造成損害的化學物質。Toxic chemicals that at low levels cause damage to health。9.2 有害、可能對健康造成損害的化學物質。Harmful chemicals that may cause damage to health。9.3 腐蝕性，接觸後可能破壞活體組織的化學物質。Corrosive chemicals that may destroy living tissue on contact。9.4 刺激物，可能引起皮膚或其他黏膜發炎的化學物質。Irritant chemicals that may cause inflammation to the skin or other mucous membranes。9.5 氧化性，與其他化學物質發生放而反應的化學物質。Oxidizing chemicals that react exothermically with other chemicals。9.6 高度易燃，與空氣接觸就會着火，只需與點火源短暫接觸，閃點極低或與水接觸會產生高度易燃氣體的化學物質。Highly flammable chemicals that may catch fire in contact with air, only need brief contact with an ignition source, have a very low flash point or evolve highly flammable gases in contact with water。9.7 極度易燃，閃點和沸點極低的化學物質以及與空氣接觸就會着火的氣體。Extremely flammable chemicals that have an extremely low flash point and boiling point, and gases that catch fire in contact with air。工作表11安全標誌和符號。Worksheet 11 Safety signs and symbols。識別警告標誌和標籤。Identifying warning signs and labels。一對於此表中的每個警告標誌，請描述危險類型並提供可能適用的材料範例。For each warning sign in this table, describe the type of hazard and give an example of a material to which it might be applicable。警告標誌、危險類型和材料範例。Warning sign, type of hazard and example of material。1.1 腐蝕性物質。Corrosive material。例如，某些電池中使用的硫酸。Example, sulfuric acid as used in some batteries。1.2 爆炸物，例如煙火。Explosive material, example, fireworks。1.3 電力，例如主配電板。Electricity, example, mains distribution board。1.4 易燃物質或高溫，例如汽油。Flammable material or high temperature, example, petrol。1.5 一般危險，例如石棉。General danger, example, asbestos。1.6 有毒物質，例如一氧化碳。Toxic material, example, carbon monoxide。1.7 放射性物質，例如電離煙霧偵測器辨識危險物質。Radioactive material, example, ionization smoke detectors to identifying hazardous substances。兩對於此表中的每個危險物質標誌，描述危險物質的類型並提供可能適用的材料的範例。For each hazardous substance sign in this table, describe the type of hazard substance and give an example of a material to which it might be applicable。危險物質標誌、危險物質類型、材質範例。Hazardous substance sign, type of hazard substance, example of material。2.1 有毒、低濃度的化學物質會對健康造成損害，例如一氧化碳。Toxic chemicals that at low levels cause damage to health, example, carbon monoxide。2.2 有害、可能對健康造成損害的化學物質，例如甲醛。Harmful chemicals that may cause damage to health, example, formaldehyde。2.3 腐蝕性，接觸後可能破壞活體組織的化學物質，例如某些電池中使用的硫酸。Corrosive chemicals that may destroy living tissue on contact, example, sulfuric acid as used in some batteries。2.4 刺激性，可能引起皮膚或其他黏膜發炎的化學物質，例如漂白劑。Irritant chemicals that may cause inflammation to the skin or other mucous membranes, example, bleach。2.5 氧化性，與其他化學物質發生放而反應的化學物質，例如氫氧化鈉。 Oxidizing, chemicals that react exothermically with other chemicals, example, sodium hydroxide. 2.6 高度易燃，化學品與空氣接觸即可着火，只需與點火源短暫接觸，閃點極低或與水接觸會產生高度易燃氣體，例如乙醇。Highly flammable, chemicals that may catch fire in contact with air, only need brief contact with an ignition source, have a very low flash point or evolve highly flammable gases in contact with water, example, ethanol. 2.7 極易燃，閃點和沸點極低的化學品，以及與空氣接觸易燃的氣體，例如汽油。Extremely flammable, chemicals that have an extremely low flash point and boiling point, and gases that catch fire in contact with air, example, petrol.